Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. This week, you'll find us in Kanab, Utah, an absolutely beautiful spot. One of the reasons we like this area so much is that it's really the gateway to three national parks, Bryce Canyon, Zion, and the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, that we just love to visit and photograph. In addition to the national park, there are national monuments such as Grand Staircase-Escalante. The national monuments provide all kinds of opportunity for boondocking, hiking, but also some fantastic photography in places such as White Pockets and Wire Pass. You also have state parks that are also very worthy of visits, including Coral Pink Sand Dunes State Park, which is just north of the town. A great spot if you'd like to go out and do some landscape photography, some hiking in the dunes, or if you have that ATV that you want to go play with, it's a great spot to do it. Many of the folks that come through Kanab use it primarily as a resupply area while they're visiting the national and state parks. But don't forget to spend some time in the town itself. It's full of history, especially movie history. Many of the cowboy movies and westerns were shot here from the 1950s through the 1980s. And the history is well displayed on a series of placards throughout town. In this week's video, we spend some time in town, doing a little driving tour, a little bit of walking, and really enjoying all of the history that's on the streets.
Hi, we're here in front of the Perry Lodge in Kanab, Utah, and we are at a historic lodge here that has been in this area since the early 1900s. It was originally just a story-and-a-half farmhouse, and then it was expanded to add more of a motor court style motel, and they added some dining and other amenities in the 1930s after the war. And as Sean will mention, there's a series of brothers of a family that promoted it and created this part of Utah as a very good spot for filming Western movies.
Now I'm looking at these placards that are out in front of the hotel, and the three that I'm looking at are actually the three brothers that started the hotel and really started the whole tourism idea for the national parks. And this is essentially the Perry brothers, Chauncey, Witt, and Gron. Started a transportation company early on, and at first their efforts were placed on actually bringing passengers from Cedar City out to Zion National Park. But eventually they bought a lodge up here in Kanab, and they started to turn the lodge into a hotel. And in order to supply the hotel with lots of customers, they used their flying skills to take a series of photographs around the area and marketed that to the movie companies in California. And many of the old 1960s, 50s, 60s, and 70s cowboy movies and westerns are actually shot in this area as a result of their efforts. One of the things that you really want to do when you're in Kanab is take a walk along the streets. There are numerous little plaques to the actors and actresses that were in the westerns that were starred up here in Kanab, including a former president. So don't hesitate to take some time and just actually walk the streets, because they're just full of really interesting history. So this is one of Kareen's and my favorite restaurants. We stop here virtually every time we come to Kanab. It's often very busy, and with COVID they have limited seating, so do plan to be patient if you're coming by for a visit. One of the things that we really like about the restaurant, that is in addition to the very eclectic menu, is they have a terrific art gallery on the walls on the upstairs section. And we almost always make a point of going up there and having a look before we finish our meals. So one of the other things we really like about Kanab is that there are a lot of little galleries spread out through the town. They range everything from silk arts to photography to painting, and it really is worth spending a little time on the street, walking the streets and visiting the galleries.
In addition to the galleries, there are also some very interesting new attractions being added to the town.
Another favorite spot of ours is the information center as you get into town, as you're coming into town. We often stop here, especially when there's different areas of the region that we want to get to and may not know exactly where they are. They're extremely helpful, and we've been here like many times. So one of the reasons that Karina and I here in Kanab is that we wanted to get a walk-in permit to the Wave. This is done each morning during the week for the next day. It's a very competitive lottery. They typically only have 10 people allowed, or 10 people will get permits for the day, and they often have hundreds of applications for each lottery when they have it. The other way to get a permit is to do it online. In that case, you have to reserve many months in advance in order to get that permit. So it's a very popular place. Even though we are now into November and it's getting quite a bit colder and maybe the weather's not quite as nice, the applications for the permits are really high. So if you want a permit, either plan to be trying the lottery on numerous occasions and or try to get a permit way in advance.
Another reason to come to Kanab, especially if you're looking for a new buddy, is to visit the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary.
Well, this morning I've stopped by the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary store in Kanab, Utah. I figured it would be impossible to not mention this wonderful group during our tour of Kanab. Now, their actual sanctuary is slightly outside of town. It's 5 miles to the west as you're heading towards Mount Carmel Junction. And they try and save all sorts of animals: horses, guinea pigs, kittens, dogs, and they have a wonderful adoption program. They also have satellite locations in other towns. But it all started here in Kanab, Utah, and they just have a wonderful sanctuary where they're trying to rescue many of the unwanted pets and animals. And they have them up for adoption, and they welcome people to come and work as volunteer for a couple days, or come visit the sanctuary and look online to consider pets that are looking for homes. Or if you can't commit to a long-time relationship with a pet, maybe you could help out with fostering, because fostering puts an animal in a loving home, and it's a lot nicer habitat for them than to be amongst a lot of other animals that are contained in kennels on a regular basis. So they try and make the best of their location and have nice areas for dog walks and things like that. So if you're in the area and you might be thinking of adopting a pet, saving an animal from a kill shelter, it's great to stop off and visit these people and find out what it takes to become an adoptive parent of a pet.
After visiting Kanab, we took a short drive north to visit the Belly of the Dragon.
Hi folks, we're here at the Belly of the Dragon, and we're going to take a hike inside and get a look. It's not very far from Mount Carmel, and it's just a half-mile hike if you do the round trip all the way through. The Belly of a Dragon is actually just an old drainage channel that was built for diverting water. It doesn't seem to be in use anymore, but always be cautious if there's rain in the area not to enter something like this.
We took a short walk through the tunnel and spent some time taking some photographs using the ambient reflecting light. It was a lot of fun. As Kareen heads out of the belly of the dragon, that brings this video to a close. We sure hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to keep track of us, please subscribe. And as always, don't forget to hit that bell button if you'd like to know when we release videos. And as always, don't hesitate to leave us a comment or a thought. We sure do enjoy hearing from you. Until next week, bye for now.